Hello everyone, welcome to the second part of this second milestone. So what we're gonna do for this one, it's gonna be about finishing the authentication with Facebook and be able finally to create a user with finally what we have, and finally also make authentication work in the application we have started to build. So in the past episode, as you remember what we have done is the fact that now we can push a token who's gonna came from the front end to the back end, who's gonna finally get the user data we're gonna need to save in the database. Example is username, is avatar, not username but first name, last name, avatar, and things like that. Before going further, we're gonna just set up the first layer of the authentication for us, and we're gonna make use with the JWT authentication system. So for those who don't know which library you can use to make that, we're gonna make use of Guardian. Guardian gonna be the library for helping us to manage the JWT authentication in the application. Think about Guardian a bit like in Node.js, like a passport or something like that. So we're gonna start right now. Sorry about that. I don't know. I just get like a really cool, really quick. So now inside you mix EXS, sorry, we're gonna add the Guardian version 1 right there. So version 1, and now what we're gonna run, it's a mix dep get and mix compile to compile a project to get the autocomplete of this new library came. Okay, perfect. First thing I also want to say is, okay, what I'm gonna do as a code of all this project, it's surely not the best one, okay? I don't feel really comfortable with everything about Elixir yet in Phoenix and all this stuff. Not like example I do with Node.js, but I think I have just this kind of knowledge, just like this small amount of knowledge, who I can maybe help other people to start to getting love with Elixir and start to see like why I really think in the future Elixir gonna really start to be big. In Phoenix, it's an awesome tool to make it easier. And why I was using GraphQL also in this project, it's I think the transition from the one who follow me from like almost a year now, it's easier to go with GraphQL example because we don't gonna get lost too much, because I feel that the JSON part with Phoenix was not that easy as the GraphQL version. I hope at least that makes sense. So how we're gonna work, it's first thing, we're gonna create the kind of thing about that, like services or just a module about the Guardian for us. So what we're gonna do is inside this Instagram web, we're gonna create another folder called auth for authentication. We're gonna create a new file called guardian.ex. And in this one, gonna be a module, Instagram web dot out and dot guardian. So we're gonna create finally you're gonna finally use the version of Guardian, the library you have done, but you're gonna make it like the way you want to handle it, like almost we did with Facebook. Here we're gonna say use Guardian, and here you say OTP app, and here we're gonna put Instagram. So the name of your application. If you don't know the name of your application, in your config right now, you should have your name right there, or inside your mix ex, you should have the name of your application right there. So this is the name of your app. Also, so we're gonna just follow the way they have handled that. I think they talk here inside your configuration, add this kind of stuff. So this is what I forget. So that's why it's a really good we get to here before we go too much further. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create here my configuration. So here I'm gonna say configure Guardian, just to follow the pattern they have built. So here it's the way you're gonna configure. Finally, it's the way then Guardian gonna say, okay, we need, example, a secret like we do with all time with JWT, and where you're gonna find the JWT secret, you're gonna go there from himself. You don't need to tell him to go and take this one here. So we say config. We say set that new name of your application, Instagram. After that, I'm gonna say take my Guardian version from Instagram web.out.guardian, the one we just created. We're gonna see say the EQR. EQR is the name of your application finally, or whatever you want to call that, Instagram. After that, I'm gonna say verify EQR. So what that means is if we have two JWT, inside the JWT, example, I mean, inside your JWT, you're gonna have your payload and stuff like that, and you can have also the EQR. So it's gonna be like the name of your app. So what that means is, example, if two JWT is gonna be almost the same, one gonna pass and one not. The one gonna pass is the one who is below this company. So this EQR. So that's what. After that, here you need to pass this secret key. So that's gonna be the secret key of JWT. If you know in Node.js, I always do things like that, like not the best practice. But what you can do with Phoenix is you can run mix Phoenix gen secret. And look what they give you. They give you right there a really good token to paste here to be the secret you can put there. Okay, here we have put the config, and now we're gonna come back to what we have started here with the Guardian. So now here what we need to do is create finally two functions. One's gonna be a way for you to get finally the user from like finally get the user from what you not what you claim, but get the user coming in from the payload of the JWT you got. So the way we're gonna handle that, it's we're gonna create two functions. I'm gonna call one get def subject for token, and I'm gonna have another one here, def resource from claims. All this stuff I told you here, it's like subject for token, blah blah blah. You can use like here, like you can read all the stuff here. It's just I try to just do my best. You don't need at least you can get something running here. So the get subject for token, if you look here, I think they're gonna show you. You like to get the resource and the claim. So what that means is the resource thing about the resource as the payload as what you're gonna receive. And when you put something like that with the underscore, that means if you do this like that and you don't use this variable, Elixir in the compiler right there gonna tell you, hey, claim it's there but not used. But if you put an underscore, you don't gonna check this thing here. Or you can just do what I do a lot, but at least it's easier to like remove that if you want to make use of it. Here I'm gonna just say sub, and I'm gonna just say to string. So this is a function in Elixir, resource.id. So my resource is gonna be a payload, okay? And I want to get finally, I can have called just that ID, but I want to get what I'm gonna take to find my user inside my database or something like that. So I need the ID. So I'm gonna say just to string resource ID, because I mean the resource here not gonna be this like it can be used this way. And here we're gonna just return a tuple with the OK and sub. Here the resource. Here what you're gonna receive. You're gonna receive like your claim right there. So like they show you here. Here we look up for a resource the claim. The subject can be found in the sub key, blah blah blah. So you see here the way they handle that. This is the way we're gonna handle this. It's they gonna have like they get the ID finally here coming in from the sub. Like we're gonna send him here. So finally it's almost like a copy and pasting code. You just say you need to have that for your application. So here you need to have your resource. We're gonna get my Instagram that account. So this is now the thing about the application we have. It's where we get the user, how we get that, and we're gonna say ID. So what I mean, it's now we're gonna send back, okay, in the resource, it's gonna be the user who's gonna be saved in the JWT. So think about that, like you're gonna need to have maybe access to like the ID of the user or something like that when you create a post or thing like this, but you need to have this like user stuff coming in. Like example, if you want to save the username when you create a post or thing like that, it's gonna be really painful if you need to always like do a find by yourself, like a find user by ID on every request. Here you're gonna add this information on your request by decoding the JWT. So here it's the only thing we need for the application. Here the Instagram get user we have created, we don't even need to create that, it was built by the generator of Phoenix. So here we have done the Guardian part. So this Guardian part is gonna be here to help us to manage the authentication like with the application like the authentication layer. So the one who say, hey, you can come here, you not. But now, how can we finally make sure then we're gonna have access to finally the user? So how can we give the user JWT, and how can we check the JWT, and how can we get the user in the context? As you know, in GraphQL, you have always three things in the resolver. You have three things. You have here like coming in from the parent, here all the arguments, and now here you get the context. Nothing has changed. GraphQL is still GraphQL. Absent have done a really good job to keep the library like simple as the JavaScript version is. So this is what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new resolver here, and this one's gonna be called account.ex. And this one's gonna be all the resolve function about like the account, about like logging and things like that. So we're gonna do def module that Instagram web that resolver that account. Here after that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a function called logging right there. This function logging gonna receive three arguments like that, but one of them here, like this, is gonna be the token. The token we're gonna send when from the front end. So what I mean, it's gonna be the token we pass a lot in the last episode. I know we pass a lot in the terminal, but the token is gonna be the token coming in from Facebook. Now another stuff like we're gonna do. It's not yet done because I mean I do backside. I mean we do here what we're supposed to finish to come back to the behind, and maybe this is not the best one, but I think I think I'm gonna keep it like that. It's gonna maybe make more sense. Here what I want to put is a provider. So provider is gonna be example. Right now we're gonna just do the logging with Facebook, but maybe if you want to add Google and local authentication, you can like here have a provider called example Facebook, and we say when it's Facebook we do this, when it's Google we do that, when it's local we do this. So it's gonna be easier for us to work with that. So now what we can do is we can do a case statement where we say provider do. So we see when the provider going to be equal to Facebook. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how I've created here this atom. Here, when I'm going to get that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a function right there, who my plan here is to return OK, and the user coming in from finally my authentication Instagram. That, and now here I would create something called authentication that logging. So this is my plan. Where here this one I'm gonna just put token, and after that I will put Facebook like that. So this is my plan, is to be able to get a OK and a user coming in from like a module authentication, where I'm gonna have a function logging, and in this function the only thing you're gonna need to pass, it's gonna be the token in which provider. So we're gonna create this this one right now. So how we're gonna do this is inside Instagram web. So you can follow how it go. Instagram web. So now we need to create a new module right there. It's not a folder, it's another module. Authentication.ex. So now in this one, def module, Instagram web that authentication, like that. And now in this one, what we're gonna need to do, it's we're gonna import what we have done inside the last episode. So we're gonna have def logging here. So now remember what we just sent. We sent a token in Facebook. So here we're gonna have token, and we're gonna have here like a Facebook. Why I do this way? It's because, example, if we get logging with token and Google, we can do this way. Two functions. This is one of the beauty of the pattern matching here. And now here we're gonna say attribute here token, and now you're gonna say I'm gonna make use of the pipe function, because now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call my function Instagram web dot OAuth. I just create OAuth dot Facebook, and now I'm gonna say get info. So I'm gonna just take this token here and pass him to this Instagram get info right there. Or what you can do, if you don't like to do this way, you can do this one and just putting the token right there. So now attribute here gonna be the result of what I have right there, the normalized function. So right there, this user right here. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do, so now I'm gonna log. Now here, how I've built that, okay, this logging function, I don't want to create a sign up. I want to create one function who's gonna be smart enough to, create a user or return a user back. What I mean by that, it's the user don't exist, create the user and return it. If he exists, return the user. That's it. But how can I search this? So again, I was thinking about, you need to think like this way before you create like your kind of feature. It's, okay, right now I'm gonna log with Facebook, that's it, okay. But at the end of this tutorial, I want also to log with local. And I was, okay, I need to make sure that my function gonna be easy to, not scaling, but what I mean, it's I want to make my function easy to make it work with other stuff. For example, here another provider, I'm gonna maybe pass like a Google authentication or thing like that. So I was thinking, okay, how can I do this? And also, how can I find my user? Because the thing is, if, example, you log with Facebook the first time, so I save your email. So your email was hello@gmail.com. And now finally you will delog of the application and you come back 2 months after and you say, okay, I'm getting back, but I don't know if I was skimming with Facebook. So what I'm gonna do, it's now, example, I'm gonna log with my email or thing like that. So now you need to think about, how can I manage this? I mean, how can I do this? It's yeah. So again, I don't say my way it's perfect, so don't judge me, please. So what I've done, decided to do, it's I've decided to create finally a search parent. Well, you just say finally that's going to be the search here. I'm going to make use for getting my user, for saying if the user exists or not, and that's going to be a map. Well, I'm going to say Facebook ID, and I'm going to say equal to the attribute I'm gonna got, so the object here, not here but here, dot Facebook ID right there, like that. And I'm gonna say also I want to check to make sure that the email match the attribute, the email. Just like security, like I know the Facebook ID gonna steal the Facebook ID, But the thing, like I told you, it's you want to make sure that maybe the email gonna match with it. So maybe I've created an account with just an email, and I'm pretty sure that if I have an email hello@gmail.com, nobody else can have this email. So you see what I mean? And now the last thing is I'm gonna create this function right now. Instagram web that account that account. So inside my logic, and I'm gonna create a function called get user or create, where I'm gonna create a user or getting a user, and I'm gonna pass in the attribute, and after that the search param. But we don't have to create this function. And also now another thing, it's before we get out of this file because we don't need anymore, it's I'm gonna show you another tips. You can here alias to alias a module name to make it easier to work with. I mean, to make it like you have less thing, like you're gonna think about that almost like not destructuring. How can I say that? It's like to shortcut your module. I mean, what I'm gonna do, it's here example, I'm gonna alias Instagram all out. So what, by doing this, I can keep just the last name, and I can do this like that. So now I can just use all out Facebook get info, and you see it's a bit smaller, and I mean it just if you reuse it, you just need this one. Now you may be asked, okay, yeah, but now why you don't go like that and here put Facebook? It's because remember, Facebook exists globally. Example, if I remove that, you see, this is the Facebook of what we have installed. And I don't want to just, yes, I know you're gonna stay here and blah, 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 but I don't want to mess up with that, and I just keep it this way. And now you can do the same with this account get user create. You can just alias this one right there. And I was gonna just make it a bit smaller. Let's go. Less Instagram everywhere. Okay. So now we have here the Instagram logging. So we have done the logging. Trust me, we don't gonna really need to come back here. But now this function, it's not create. So why not? I was able to jump, and I cannot jump anymore. Perfect. So and now go inside the account where we're gonna finally create this function get user or create account. I'm going to create that right there at the top. I'm going to create a function get user or create. This function, remember, you get the attributes and you get the search param. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a case statement where we're going to do a repo that get by, while here you can say get a user. So you see here alias the user, so that's why you just see user here. So get a user with his search param. So I was, okay, you can send like a list of search param, but how you can do this with what you have done already in maps, you can make use of the map. So all the function for working with map dot to list. So you can read here to list, convert map to a list with like you see like this way right there. And now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the search param. And now here it's a case statement. So what we can do is when it's nil, so that means the user don't exist. So we're going to create the user. We're going to call a function right there. We need only the attribute. So we're going to say create user attribute. If we have a user, attribute take as, yeah. If you have a user, now that means the user exists. And now we have it here. We don't need to do anything anymore. We can just return a tuple with OK and user. That's it. Nothing more to do here. So attribute search param. We try to get a user with any search param we give him. So they need to match for each of them. You cannot just match the Facebook ID, not match the email. You see what I mean? Now, if we have nothing, so nil mean nothing here, like nulls, we're gonna say create a user because it don't exist. Else, we have a user. Why not return it? Okay, so now what we have done? We have done the fact that now I can, inside my resolver, be able to log from to Facebook, getting my user back. But for that, first thing I need to call is to call the function authentication logging right there. This authentication logging gonna get the token from the front end and the Facebook provider, so that told him he gonna log with Facebook. We get the attribute coming in from the API call go to Facebook graph API. I mean, we're gonna get your email, ID, avatar, and stuff like that. After that, I say, do this user is this or not, right there. If he don't exist, I'm gonna create a user, else I return the user. And now, okay, so now here in the resolver, you say, I'm sure you are, because you are more wake up than me, I'm sure you are there, and you say, okay, you get the login here, you get the user, but no, why? What we do, and why you talk about JWT, and now we don't talk anymore about JWT, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, it's first thing, I'm gonna again alias some stuff, so I'm gonna alias this one. I can remove the Instagram web. Now what I'm gonna do, it's now I'm gonna return another tuple, but this one, it's this tuple right encode and sign this one. We receive 3 elements right there, while you receive finally the token and also the claim. But what we need is gonna be only the token, so we're gonna say okay, token, and this one underscore, we don't need this one. And now I'm gonna need that from my, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you another way. It's here, what you can do, it's put that in curly bracket and just say here you second one, like that. So I'm gonna alias Instagram authentication and also out. So now I can say out dot, and you know what, I'm gonna just run mix compile just to make it run. See, okay, so now I can do out dot guardian. So the function we create dot not the function we create, but coming from the guardian we have, encode and sign. And this one, you're gonna need to receive the user like that. And now here, what are we gonna return back to the front end? It's gonna be a OK and a map here where we're gonna say token. So this is what always return to app sign. Like we need to return a OK, and now here we need to return whatever we want to return finally. And now this token, it's not this one. Like you're gonna be like thinking about I don't even know how I can say that, but it's not anymore the same variable. It's gonna become like the token coming in from this guardian stuff built by your own JWT. Okay. So now we have the resolver. I know it's a lot, but and now we have the resolver. So now first thing we're gonna alias this resolver. We don't need any, I mean, you already get all the resolver, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a mutation now. We're gonna create right there a mutation. See here we have query. Now we're gonna do mutation, and right in this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a description where I'm gonna say logging as a user. So I'm gonna log as a user, and I'm gonna say field logging. So I'm gonna call my mutation function logging. I'm gonna say what we're gonna return is gonna be for now. Not for now. I'm gonna do this really quick. It's gonna be easy. We're gonna return something we're gonna call a user session, and I'm gonna say do. So now, like here, you see we create like a type object. So photo, blah blah blah. Now we just need to create this user session, and okay. And how we're gonna do this? It's we're gonna just finally add that to the account type we're gonna create right there inside that, like we did with the post type. So we're gonna say account types.ex def module. You're gonna see more and more in the code with Elixir, more and more that gonna came. Dot schema dot account types. Here we do like we done in the post one. We're gonna use the app sign notation like that. And now in this one we're gonna say object user session, and the thing we're gonna return is gonna be for now just a field where we're gonna call it the token, and that's gonna be a not null string. So that means we're gonna always returning something. And now this token, if you follow me, it's gonna be this token right there we return. So now the schema right there, what we say, it's okay, when you're gonna log, you're gonna receive an object where you're gonna have a token. So because now we can talk in English, not in English, but in JavaScript, because now it's the front end. We're gonna say what we need as an argument is gonna be the token, and the token is gonna be a string, and also this stuff we don't gonna say it's gonna be not null, because maybe the user in the future gonna log with an email. You see what I mean? What I tried to tell you, it's I try to prepare you to think always in your app like in maybe what you can maybe add in the future and things like that. And also after that, what we're gonna say is we're gonna create another argument. It's gonna be provider, and this one is gonna be type of provider. Okay. Where this provider came, I mean, it's where this came. And this is a good question, and that's gonna came from here. That's gonna be an enum. For those who don't know what is an enum, the thing about an enum, it's like not like example. If I say you can only say red, blue, and green to choose as a color, so I'm gonna make sure then you cannot say like pink or something like that. Because I mean, if you say that's going to be a string, that can be any string. But if you say I want to be a string, but I also want to be like that, this is finally, or you can do this. And now here you see provider, an enum provider, and here you just need to put value. So you can put Facebook, and example in the future we're going to say email, value Google, or something like that. See, but now right now Facebook. That's it. Okay. And now what we miss here is going to be the resolver to call this logging function. So now what we're going to do, it's resolver.account.logging, and we pass the 3 argument here. We have a lot. Okay. Now why not try it and see if that's going to really crash. You see, okay. Type must exist if reference. User section is not defined in your schema. What I've done wrong. You see, my user section is there. But the thing is, you look here what we have forget. Inside all the resolver for the not resolver but all for the type coming from the pose, we have say import type post type to get the photo. And now the user session don't exist yet. Like you see, like it don't get called to the account. So you need to do the same. So Shift Command D for here, and now I'm gonna say account type. And now we should be good. Okay, app is running. Okay, it's a good sign. Now I'm gonna refresh my GraphQL. Oops, don't know what happened. Okay. And now I'm going to open my docs. Oh, mutation, perfect. And now I have the logging. Logging, take a provider who can just be Facebook for now. Take a token, and it return you a user session. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, it's I'm going to take like my token. So you can do this yourself also to get and take your token. I show you in the last episode. It's just because I don't want to open that, and I'm not the best one to like put that as a secret. All my other stuff. You see what I mean? It's so now how we're gonna test that? It's by running that with your like a token. So we're gonna say mutation, logging, provider. I'm gonna just put not semicolon but colon, and look, I'm gonna get here right there Facebook, and now I'm gonna say token, and I'm gonna pass my token right there. And here I can say back, I want the token back, because you remember user session give you a token, and this is there. Now I'm gonna open Postico to see what's gonna happen. So Instagram right now we have no user at all. So now I'm gonna run this command. I'm gonna close that, run this command, and now what we got? Boom! We got back a token right there. And you see, this is not this token. This is a JWT token right there. This is a JWT token. And so this is, I mean, this is already good. We have now, first thing, really make it good and make a JWT token working. But now you see here, if I put my JWT token inside JWT.io, they give you right there what you have. The audience, here it's like your, for who, Instagram, expire when, here it's when it was created, if I'm sure. Here is the issuer. Here, this is the other stuff thing. It's like an ID for the JWT, I'm not quite sure. Here we have the sub, who is my user here. This is the ID of my user. So now all this stuff are what we have get from Facebook. And you see, we get the ID number 1. And now, one of the things I love about working with Elixir, Phoenix, and Ecto, and all this stuff, it's they have really think for helping us. Here, you see the debug. Now, here, this is the query we got. So this is when we try to get the user. We say, select here, finally find the user where you're gonna have EQuimper Emmanuel as the email. So you're gonna see, so they put here the first variable here, email, as the first one, and Facebook ID as the second one. And here that was my Facebook ID. If you don't trust me, just look here at the top, ID right there. So now they say, okay, this is nil, so we're gonna create a user. So they create a user, being like that. Boom, that's it, this is done. Now I'm gonna rerun this same command just to test now if I send that, if I'm gonna create another user. It's not supposed, it's supposed to just select, that's it. And I'm gonna run, boom. We call the mutation, user, select, blah, blah, blah. You find the user, that's it, you don't need to create it. And now if I refresh in Postico, we have no second user. So that was it for this episode. The next episode, we're gonna just add the middleware and the context for working with AppSign and GraphQL, and make sure after that, then the route cannot be accessed if you are not logged. So that's gonna be one of the last episodes right now for this second milestone, before we jump on the front end where we're gonna build we're gonna add the Facebook SDK and a logging screen. So I hope you enjoy. Sorry for this long video. I've done this one long video, and I think I'm gonna start to doing this. And why? It's because I want to share the more I can. I think the other video was not the best, and I think this one can be better. So I hope you enjoy, and please let me know in the comment. Have a good night, everyone.